Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at a game called Espgaluda, created by Cave and AMI in 2003, but also, this is my flashback episode, because it's 1,100 episodes, or videos, and we're going to look at the year 2003, so we're going to go back in time via the Crazy Climber 80 DeLorean and look at news events, starting with the unfortunate Space Shuttle Columbia disintegrating upon re-entry over Texas, killing all 7 astronauts. Very similar, unfortunately, to the Challenger disaster. The Federal Republic of Yugoslavia is renamed Serbia and Montenegro. Anti-war protests occur worldwide with the U.S. invading Iraq. An arsonist burns a subway train in South Korea, killing 192. A nightclub in Rhode Island catches fire, killing 100. The war in Darfur begins when rebel groups rise up against Sudanese government. The Serbian Prime Minister Zoran Dinjic is assassinated in Belgrade. The severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, occurs in China, Hong Kong, and Vietnam. The Human Genome Project is completed. The U.S. withdraws troops stationed in Saudi Arabia. The U.S. seizes Baghdad, ending Saddam Hussein's Ba'athist regime there. The first deer clone is Dewey at Texas A&M, and the first cloned horse is Promethea. The Second Congo War ends via peace accord. SARS is declared contained by the World Health Organization. The Second Liberian Civil War ends when President Charles Taylor resigns and self-exiles. Hurricane Juan lands in Halifax, causing hundreds of millions in damage. The era of airline supersonic travel ends with the Concorde's last flight. Former President of Iraq Saddam Hussein is captured in Ad-Dar by the U.S. Army. A natural gas explosion in Chongqing, China kills at least 234. A 6.6 earthquake hits Iran, killing around 30,000. Wow. But now we're going to look at famous deaths of 2003. Strom Thurmond, Jack Elam, Rod Roddy, Bobby Hatfield of the Righteous Brothers, Art Carney, Don Gibson, Warren Spahn, Hope Lange, Alan Bates, David Hemmings, Les Tremaine, Maurice Gibb of the Bee Gees, Richard Crenna, Johnny Paycheck, Howie Epstein, Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Adam Faith, Michael Jeter, Edwin Starr, Anthony Caruso, Nina Simone, Robert Stack, June Carter Cash, Leon Uris, Katharine Hepburn, Buddy Hackett, Barry White, Buddy Ebsen, Tex Schramm, John Schlesinger, Bob Hope, Gregory Hines, Herb Brooks, Idi Amin, Bobby Bonds, Charles Bronson, Warren Zevon, John Ritter, Johnny Cash, Elia Kazan, Robert Palmer, and Road Warrior Hawk. And now we're going to look at sports of 2003. The Pirate Bowl, Super Bowl 37. Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the Oakland Raiders 48-21. Jamal Lewis sets the record for rushing yards in a game with 295. Florida Marlins win their second World Series title. They defeat the Yankees in 6 games. NBA Finals, San Antonio Spurs defeat the Nets 4-2. Tim Duncan is the MVP. New Jersey Devils win their third Stanley Cup title. They beat the Anaheim Mighty Ducks 4-3, 4 games to 3. Boxing, Shane Mosley wins the WAWBC Junior Middleweight titles over Oscar De La Hoya. NCAA basketball, men, Syracuse defeats Kansas 81-78 in the championship. And the women, UConn defeats Tennessee 73-68. NCAA football, Ohio State defeats Miami 31-24 in 2 overtimes in the Fiesta Bowl for the BCS championship. Soccer, Germany wins the men and women's World Cups. Tennis, Pete Sampras retires. Golf, Masters champ is Mike Weir. US Open champ is Jim Furyk. British Open champ is Ben Curtis. And PGA champ is Sean McKeel. I think that's how it's pronounced. Now we're going to look at music. Number 1 songs. Lose Yourself. Bump Bump Bump. All I Have. In the Club. Get Busy. 21 Questions. This Is the Night. Crazy in Love. Shake Your Tail Feather. Baby Boy. Stand Up. And the great song Hey Ya. Other big hits of 2003. Ignition. Unwell. Picture. Bring Me to Life. Cry Me a River. Rock Your Body. She Hates Me. And Like a Stone. And now we're going to look at TV shows, TV debuts of 2003. Rugrats All Grown Up. Ancient Discoveries. Arrested Development. The Bachelorette. Battlestar Galactica. Celebrities Uncensored. Chappelle's Show. Cold Case. Countdown with Keith Olbermann. Ellen DeGeneres Show. Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Jimmy Kimmel Live. Last Comic Standing. Mythbusters. NCIS. Nip Tuck. The OC. One Tree Hill. Penn and Teller Bullshit. Queer Eye. Reno 9/11. The Simple Life. Teen Titans. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's So Raven. And 2.5 Men. Now we're going to look at some big films of 2003. Return of the King, Finding Nemo, Kill Bill Volume 1, Lost in Translation, Mystic River, Cold Mountain, Seabiscuit, Monster, School of Rock, Matrix Reloaded, X2, Last Samurai, Terminator 3, Love Actually, 13, Old Boy, Bad Santa, The Italian Job, Holes, Something's Gotta Give, Elf, Freddy vs. Jason, Bruce Almighty, Daredevil, and The Room. Awful movie. Well, this is Espgaluda, created in 2003 by Cave and Amusement Marketing International. And this is a bullet hell shoot 'em up. This is basically a follow-up to Espbraid, which was a very popular game back in the day. And the story of this game goes is that the king of Shinra conducts psychic power experiments on his children Ageha and Tateha for military purposes. They are rescued by a man named Hyodoshi. Ciceri is their half-sister who wants them dead. She's jealous of their father's attention. Hyodoshi ends up getting murdered, and the children want to get revenge. In this game, you can you can gender bend. You can change the gender of your player, because you could play as either the boy Ageha or the girl Tateha, and you can use your gender bending powers to change your gender, and you'll be stronger in one way. Now, here you can choose between the two different characters. Your gender bending feature is called Kakusei, and I don't have a Japanese translation, sorry, but it's basically telling you how you play. You have spirit gems that you can collect, and that will allow you to use your Kakusei. Now, with the Kakusei activated, enemies and bullets will slow down. Your spirit gems deplete in Kakusei mode. When you're out of spirit gems, enemy bullets will move faster than normal. Gold ingots will appear during your Kakusei mode from the enemy bullets when the enemies are destroyed, and you collect them for points. You can fill your Kakusei meter with green gems to be able to gender switch. You have a button to use your Kakusei. You have a shot button, and you have a shield button. And there is also a turbo fire button. You could charge your shot, and it will make boss fights much easier. Other things to tell you about, dying cuts you can collect gold. And like I said, they appear during Kakusei mode from the enemy bullets when enemies are destroyed, and you can collect that gold for points. If you die, your gold meter or your gold amount is cut in half. We're going to get started here. Early on, it's not too bad in terms of bullet hell, especially if you use your charge shot. You just hold the fire button down, and your shot is much stronger, and you can whittle down through the regular enemies easier. This game's kind of confusing. Here's a mini boss. Like I said, there I activated my Kakusei mode, gender bended, whatever, and the enemy bullets get much slower. And when you destroy an enemy, its bullets will turn into gold, which you will automatically collect. You know, they'll fly to you. You don't have to go and get them. It's kind of confusing because oftentimes you'll survive when you touch bullets, and you're not sure why. But one thing to know is that if you have, I think if you have some Kakusei power or green gems, and you get hit, I think you will fire a bomb instead of dying. And here is the first boss. But yeah, you can shorten boss fights by holding down the fire button. With the shield button, you can hold that down and you'll have a nice powerful shield. You won't be able to have it forever. And look how slow the bullets get because I'm in Kakusei power. But yeah, if you hold down the shield button for a very long time, you'll have a nice big fat shield, and eventually you'll fire off a powerful shot. Yeah, this had a sequel called Espgaluda 2, and this is basically a follow-up to Espgaluda, which was very highly regarded among bullet hell shoot-'em-up fans, though the stories are not related. I will show you those screens later. There's some dialogue on them, and I'll tell you what they say at the end of the video. But you'll see 3 squares at the top left. That's your lives remaining. You'll see it filled with some sort of with a green gem in there. We will see me play as both Ageha, which I'm playing as, and what was her name? Tateha, the girl, the sister. As I said, there is a half-sister, Cesari, who figures into this game and the next game, I believe, and she wants them dead. Ageha and Tateha, because she's jealous of the father's attention of those two, even though he's evil, and he's just using them for military purposes, exploiting their psychic powers. But that gender bending idea is kind of a weird one for a shoot-'em-up game. Ageha is faster moving, but he has more narrow shots, and Tateha is slower than Ageha, but she has more wide shots. When you are hit, half your bomb meter is spent on a life-saving bomb, and you have a bomb meter too. Yeah, I will show you snippets of the rest of the game. I made like 5th place, I think. Yeah, but when your Kakusei is activated, enemies and bullets slow down. Your spirit gems deplete while in Kakusei mode. When you're out of spirit gems, the enemy bullets move faster than normal. Man, that really sucks. So, it's really good to rely on the charged shot a lot in this game, or at least that's my experience. I am not good at bullet hell games. Eventually, I put on invincibility cheat. Not quite yet, I don't think. I died. Yeah, when you die, a bunch of your power-ups float around, and you can collect them on your next life. Oops. I didn't really care that much about my gameplay at this point. But I just wanted to show you snippets of the rest of the game, the boss fights, etc., etc. But Gold ingots will appear during Kakusei mode from enemy bullets when enemies are destroyed, and you collect them for points, or they'll just fly right to you. You fill your Kakusei meter with green gems to be able to gender switch. There will be a boss life meter that you can see at the top of the screen, and that'll deplete faster when you use the charged shot. And I will continue here. I will beat the boss, and then I think I used invincibility after I beat him. The final boss of the game will be your dear old dad. A number of bosses will have their meter refill completely, and you have to fight a different form of them. There are a total of 5 stages. But you can see on the right where it says 260 or 250, that's the green gems that I have, and again that acts as sort of my Kakusei meter, and once that runs down to 0, then the enemy bullets will stop being slow and they'll be faster than normal, which really sucks. I had never heard of this. I had never heard of any of the ESP shoot-'em-up games. Esprade. I used to call it Espgaluda because it was like ESP and then .ra.de. I thought it was Espgaluda, but I guess it's Esprade. Espgaluda, the title of this game. It's ESP, extrasensory perception or whatever. And then Galuda, I guess Garuda or something, it means butterfly. And that is kind of what you look like when you have your Kakusei going on. I think you see sort of butterfly wings or something. Yeah, I'd never heard of any of these shoot-'em-up games in this series until MAME came along. And I had not heard of Espgaluda until just now because I was looking for look at all those bullets, it's just freaking ridiculous. I could never get into the bullet hell games. But, yeah, I had been looking for a 2003 game, and I came across this one, so I was like, okay, well, I'll do this to celebrate my 1100th YouTube video. And again, for every 100th YouTube video, I will do a special in which we look back at a certain year in the past, and I will do a game at the same time, game review, and we just take a look back at a bunch of events and stuff that went on in that year. This year, of course, is 2003. Let me know in the comments what you were doing in 2003. What I was doing was getting my final apartment squared away. I moved into my current house in 2010, and not looking back. I needed to get my own house. But 2003, I had trouble finding work, and just barely able to pay for my apartment for a year, and finally I found work. Very steady, not very good paying job, but I liked the work, and I got along with almost everybody at work. It was a very nice job. It was a warehouse with golf products. I ran a forklift. I did inspection. Ran the assembly line, etc. I like the job I have more because I get paid really well and I get to do some good work, which I like to stay busy, and then I have moments where I can just kick back. Yeah, that's at the Veterans Hospital in Portland. Yeah, we'll just scoot ahead to parts of the game and parts of the boss fights. But you can expand the width of your shot. Maybe just generally make it stronger with various power-ups that you can pick up. There will be power-ups that give you more Kakusei power. But yeah, once you use the Kakusei, you'll make the enemy bullets really slow. And when you defeat an enemy, their bullets will turn into gold, and it'll get sucked into you, and you'll get the points. But once it runs out, their bullets will be faster than normal, and that really, really sucks. So I would suggest you use the charged shot a lot. You can play 2-player simultaneous play, of course, both Ageha and Tateha. Yeah, I can't really get into the bullet hell games, especially like this. This is freaking ridiculous. This and maybe Armed Police Bat Rider and Espgaluda. Well, I am going to go back to work Thursday. I've been off work for almost 3 weeks. I'm still not entirely healed to the point where I want to be. I can still see black on my eyes from the surgery, just a little dark creases under my eyes. It's bruising, and I'm hoping it'll go away. I put on antibiotic ointment a couple of times a day at least to try to reduce the darkness. I definitely had invincibility on by this point. I just wanted to try to zip through the levels and show you the meat and potatoes of the remaining levels and the boss fights and the mini boss fights. There's some kind of interesting things about this game, but bullet hell, I just can't really get into it. I just don't understand the appeal behind it. Getting a lot of gold here. Again, that's from defeating the enemies and getting the gold from their bullets. But we'll zip forward. Look at it. I believe that's bloody splotches from somebody that was brutally killed. And after I beat this boss, I believe, then there are a bunch of people inside this castle that shoot at you, and you could shoot them, and they turn into splatty messes, and red splotches on the ground, and they scream. I find it hilarious, although I think they sounded more like a dog or something. Just die already. Yeah, leave a comment and let me know what memories you have of the year 2003. Yeah, my last apartment. There was some serious mold problems. I'd had it with moldy and mildewy apartments when I moved into my house, I had much cleaner air. I was much happier. Yeah, I lived closer to work back then. Once I got my hospital job, so I liked being able to leave the house later on than I do now. I needed the house that I'm in. I got a great deal on it too. I've doubled the property value with the improvements that I've made on the house, and I've got people wanting to buy it from me, but I have no interest in selling for at least probably another 10-20 years. Yeah, they sound like dogs yipping, and I guess they're shooting psychic energy at me or something. Splatting them left and right. But again, the last boss of the game coming up is my dear old dad, or the father of Ageha and Tateha. I think Cesari, their half-sister, will appear in Espgaluda, and I can't remember if she's a final boss or if she's a stage boss, but she ends up getting killed by you. But yeah, Espgaluda 2, I think, came out in 2005. There's various forms of your father. And again, he performed experiments on Ageha and his sister Tateha for military purposes, experimented on their psychic powers. And he slaughtered the man that took them in, Hyodoshi, and they want revenge. And we're gonna get revenge right here. Almost. He's got one final form, and he's using his Kakusei, I believe, and he turns into a giant butterfly type thing. And is female here. But yeah, use your charged shot when you hold down the fire button. Use that a lot, because that can whittle down the enemies quickly and make the boss fights more tolerable. And if you use your Kakusei, remember, you can't shoot these cannons or whatever they are that are firing these bullets from the sides. When you use your Kakusei, remember that even though the bullets are slowed down for a long while, when they stop being slow and they fire again, they're going to be faster than normal, and that really sucks. And in a moment, we're going to see the end of Espgaluda. And again, I believe Galuda or Garuda means butterfly, and Esp is ESP. Pretty loud death cry there. That is Espgaluda, created by Cave and Amusement Marketing International, also known as AMI, in 2003. And it is kind of a follow-up to the game Espbraid, and there's a sequel called Espgaluda in 2005, I think. I have not played either one of those, I don't think. But Espbraid got pretty positive accolades around the bullet hell shoot 'em up community. It is Espgaluda by Cave and AMI in 2003. If you have anything to add to any of the news stories or sports or music or whatever, that I've mentioned earlier, post a comment. And again, let me know what you were doing in 2003 if you can remember. Anything you have to add, I'd be interested in hearing about it. That was Espgaluda. We will also have a look at me playing two-player simultaneous play, because I don't think they showed that in the attract mode. Just a little bit of two-player play. I think a good portion of the first stage. I'm willing to guess that this was not seen in America. It's probably in Japan only, or maybe Japan, Europe, or something, I don't know. But yeah, all those green gems will add to your Kakusei power. As long as you have gems, I think you can use the Kakusei. You can have, I think, a maximum of 500 gems. And you want to have your gem count pretty darn high, as long as you can, because again, when it runs out, when you're out of those gems, those enemy bullets will be faster than normal, which really sucks. And yeah, use your charged shot. That was just a mini boss, so the regular boss fight will be much longer than that, but still, using that charged shot is very, very useful. I think I used both of our Kakuseis at the same time. But yeah, the Kakusei is a gender-bending power, and it makes, I think, either your shield or your shot stronger, and the other is a little weaker. And that is the charged shield. And eventually it will just be a powerful shot. There we go. It's a pretty powerful shot. Now there's the Kakusei, because the bullets are moving much slower. And we will look, there is the ending of the first stage. Suddenly, Hyodoshi was killed by the attack of the army. The power of the Galudians awakened, triggered by the attack. Somehow, one was able to defeat the enemy and survive. And then, stage 2, it says the enemy, or the image on one's mind after awakening. The holy ghost stone on one's chest shines as if it were attracted by the power. Had to fight with the enemy, draws near us tenaciously for no reason. Some bad English. Stage 3. It turned out to be the land of the enemy after crossing the deadline, and finally reached Shinra with the guidance of the power. The mighty power of the enemy will drive us into a corner. And in stage 4 it says, the image sending from center of Utsurobune, the castle in the Shinra imperial capital, yet it was also the nucleus of the enemy. What? But at any rate, that was Espgaluda, created by Cave and Amusement Marketing International in 2003. I thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I thank you for my looking at my 2003 tribute, and hope to see you next time with my next video. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.